and I was like 7, but yeah, so I started taking guitar lessons, and then by the time I was like 8 or 9, I wrote my first song, and it's been nonstop ever since.
Nobody's gonna take you home. Who's gonna take me home?
Wow, what an early age.
I
Yeah.
love that. I love that. I didn't even like learning new things. You're from Israel. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really awesome. And so yeah, Bella's gonna go ahead with the next one.
Cool.
Yeah. So we know you play guitar, so we're just wondering, how did you learn, and if you play any other instruments?
Oh yeah, so I took many years of guitar lessons, so that's probably my most go-to instrument. But aside from that, I can play the drums. I self-taught myself how to play drums. I can play the bass. Yeah. And then I can play bass, mainly because it's pretty much like playing guitar but only with one finger, and I don't mean that as disrespect to bass players at all.
Yeah.
But that's
Bass
just
is hard. Bass is, people think it's easy. It's not.
Yeah, I mean, I think the rhythmic element of it is the most difficult part about it.
Right.
You just have to be so in sync with the drummer or the click track or whatever. I mean, you're like driving the song. But as far as what your fingers are doing, I don't think it's that crazy.
No, I agree.
Yeah. And then other than that, I also went to audio engineering school when I was 20. So that's where I learned how to kind of, I mean, I was producing for a long time before then, but that's when I kind of learned how to make it professional sounding, big sounding, and all that good stuff.
Yeah. I love that. It's great to have that experience. A lot of artists go in and they don't know much, and then it's like for example, I'm not gonna lie, like I don't know that much about it. That's why I have like producers and stuff. You know what I mean? I'm learning, but it's hard. I you know what I mean? Like that's great to have under your belt for sure.
Definitely.
And so I always love asking this question. When creating your music, what are your biggest inspirations? Like, is it like movie scores or actual artists or like just anything like in general?
So I'd say that like sonically, like looking for melodies or chords or like writing the actual music, it's always other artists. I mean, I don't think that there's really any room to create new chord progressions or new riffs, because in a way all music is just like imitations of other chords and other riffs. You know what I mean? So what better inspiration is there than to just listen to music that's already out there and interpret it however you interpret it. You're like, wow, I really like the feel of that song. I'm going to make a song with the same feel. Why not?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, for sure.
And I think too many people are like afraid, like, oh, he's copying so and so. No. But you know what I mean? I just think copying so and so, A, is a fantastic thing, and it's a compliment to them, whoever that may be.
Yeah.
And B, if you're mad about it and you're commenting on it and you're asking me about it, you're creating a dialogue and the traction that I want. So
yeah. For real. Because if you have anything, like that's the thing though, like even if you're saying, oh, I don't like this, you're still talking about it. So you're still technically a fan.
Exactly.
I say that too. I was just like, even if you don't like what I say or what I do, it's like you're still giving me clout or whatever. So
right,
I don't know.
Exactly.
But I agree with you. Like even I don't know if you know Cage the Elephant. But like
of course I do.
They have they're highly underrated in my opinion. I remember watching them at Osheaga. It's a festival in Montreal here in the summer, and this was years ago, and someone was like, they're so garbage, and I was like, well, why are you here? Like you can go see any other act. I mean,
yeah,
like, and they have some songs, and I'm not even joking, like I'm literally listening to it and I play by ear and I sing by ear. I've had some training, but I mean, that's just how I do it. And I'll literally be singing like a Beatles song over their song. And like, it's interesting because it's like, I'm not even mad about it. I think just find it interesting. That's like, you could say the same about like Broadway musicals. Like a lot of the songs, especially they're all tied in like for a specific musical. For example, like Dear Evan Hansen, or like, I don't know, like Yo Hello Dolly. It's like all the songs kind of like, it's the point for them all to have like similarities and all like to mesh well together, and just like it makes sense. Like even I don't know, a recent example would be like Sam Smith and like the Tom Petty song there, and there was so much like hate
Right.
towards that, and I'm like, why though? Even like what was his name, like Ed Sheeran was sued for one of his songs, and I'm like, are you guys really getting mad because of this? Like everything, it's like everything is gonna sound similar. It just is. It's just art. Like everyone, like everything derives from something. So like painting styles, music, film, like directors. Obviously, where do you get your inspiration? Obviously, there's like you said, it's like, why are you?
Yeah.
Why are you like angry about it? But
Exactly.
yeah. So getting more into inspo.
Yeah. What are your top inspirational artists?
Ooh, I mean, that's a deep question. Mainly because I, throughout the time that I've been a musician, have gone through so many different genres and stage names and vibes, and you know what I mean. So my original inspiration for creation and starting to produce and stuff like that is for sure John Bellion. So
Oh
I
my
don't know.
god!
Okay, so I was gonna ask you if you know who John Bellion is, but I got my.
Obviously.
Sorry, I love. He's so underrated. I love him. I've seen him live.
I know, me too. He's great, but I found out about him way before everyone else found out about him.
Oh, when did you? Okay, try me.
2011.
Okay, around the same time.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I saw his video of him covering a Drake song. So that was probably my first inspiration that really got me into production and working on my own music and stuff like that. But then we get into the 5-year stretch of when I was in a reggae band. Yeah, so that was quite a moment. But it was a good experience. It was called The Zoo, and we opened for a lot of big name reggae acts, and it was good. And I would never change anything about that experience. So at that time period, I was listening to nothing but reggae, and I think that the relationship between punk and reggae was very important to me at that time, and is up until now. Just the way that like in the 90s that punk and ska were so connected. When you listen to bands like Less Than Jake and stuff like that, where some of their songs they're just pure punk songs, then other songs are just a straight up reggae jam, So that time period was pretty influential on me. And then I mean, the majority of what I get inspired by now, and just what has inspired me all along, has just been heavy scene music. Bands like, Bring Me the Horizon, both their older stuff and their newer stuff. The Story So Far, Blink-182, obviously the GOATs. I can't even.
Right, for sure.
There's nothing even to say. So yeah, so that's pretty much what inspires me. So I think I kind of mesh all of that into one with my music. I try to take the poppier aesthetics from like John Bellion and Bring Me the Horizon and the newer stuff they've been doing.
I see that. I definitely see that. Ollie Segbuzz for sure. But no, yeah, I love that. Wow, the more you know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just because I'm curious, because I love asking everyone who likes Bring Me the Horizon, what's your favorite album by them?
What mood am I in?
Touché.
What am I doing? If I'm cooking, and I'm really in the zone cooking, like Sempiternal all the way, because I just want to hear Ollie. I just want to hear Ollie like yell at me so I can like cook my stuff faster, If I'm like speeding on the highway, that's the Spirit for sure. There's nothing else to play. And if I'm just chilling, I'm just vibing out, or if I'm like at the gym or something like that, like something just relaxed, Amo, for sure.
For sure. Okay, work. I love that. I remember I used to work like me and Bella went to the same college, and I would play that song "Fuck" on the radio at the school radio, and people were like, "What the hell is going on?" Like this, but it's such a good song. Like I love it. There's a parts in that song, and I'm like, I cried to that. And so like
Yeah.
you're right. Indeed, there are so many different moods one can be in to enjoy like the different stylings for sure. And like Ollie seems like such an interesting human being.
He
And his
really
story
is.
is so unique.
Yeah, and you would never expect that he's like vegan straight edge. You're like,
Yeah.
what? Okay.
I
All
love
right,
that.
do you, man? You know?
No, for sure. Yeah, so getting into the creative process and your creative process when producing and songwriting, what is that like for you? What do you say?
Really, it goes one or two ways. It
Okay.
either just like flows out and it's just instantaneous, like, wow, I got a song, bam, just all the elements are coming through, or it's just the complete opposite. Nothing's happening, nothing's sounding right. I hate everything I'm making that day, and I just have to walk away. And those are pretty much the only two vibes.
Yeah, I feel like that's just most people, to be honest. You either have it and it's like, oh, I have to like work extra hard today. Like this is not, and then, but it's like every day, it's like, I don't know. It's like playing golf. Like I'm a nerd, I play golf. But I like, and like some days it's just not happening. It's just like,
Right.
okay, tomorrow I'll try again. But I feel like that's just like life in general. But for music too, like sometimes like your voice isn't it, or like you're just not feeling the vibe and you're just like disassociating from the song you're singing. Like it really, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So that's, I mean, yeah, it resonates, hits deep. So
Yeah, I just don't think music should be forced. You know what I mean?
never. Oh my God. We know some people, oh, like, you know, if you know, you know, like write a song in 5 minutes. Like we know who that is. But
Right, right.
like,
But
okay, yeah.
it's kind of a struggle though, because you also have to balance that out with like, you have to write 100 bad songs to write one good one. You know, not like that specific number, but you know what I
Right. No,
mean.
yeah.
You have to do trial and error to get to that good song. So it's kind of a weird balance of like, should I keep working on this just so I get one of those bad ones out of the way?
Oh,
Or should
for
I
sure.
just call it quits and come back
Yeah,
another day to, you know, so you kind of have to balance it out.
definitely. It depends who you are. For me, I don't like
Right.
making a bad song. Like if it's bad, I'll make it good, if that makes
Right.
any sense.
Yeah.
Like because I've already made a bunch of shitty like songs on like Audacity on my laptop since I was like 10. So it's like I don't really like care for that anymore. It's just kind of like, let's get her done. And no, but I feel you though. You do have to get, that's just art in general. You'll paint, like I like painting, for example, whatever. And Bella's great in like graphic art. She's so shout out Bella, you're great. And so yeah, I think like just artists and creatives alike, but it's like you will do so many things that you're just like, oh, I like this better and I like that. And
Give me 1 second.
no
I am
worries,
so
no
sorry.
No, it's all right.
1 second. Hold on. Stop playing.
so cute. Oh my God.
I know.
But yeah, so we wanted to know also, because it's like BLUENOSE, it's such a cool name. I thought, you know, like I thought when I first saw your name, I thought of, I don't know if you know the film Old School with Will Ferrell. It's like, you're my
It's so funny you bring that
Yeah,
up, because
yeah.
that is literally my producer tag when I produce for other people.
Oh my God.
Oh my
Yeah.
No shit. Okay. I love, honestly, that's what I thought of right away. When I think the first song, obviously, like shout out Blake Matthews. He's the, like how I kind of found your music, which is
Yeah.
lovely. Cause like, you know, it's like a chain of artists. Like, I don't even know, like, anyways. And then I was like, that's literally like legit what I thought of. I'm like, yo, Will Ferrell, this movie, The Old Man in the Frat, literally like wrestling with it was, anyways, that's, now I'm getting too into it. But yeah, okay, that's hilarious. I love that. I
Yeah.
love that. Okay, cool. So it kind of came from what, I guess specifically that, or like
No. So
I'm
BLUENOSE
playing.
came from so my fiance about 6 years ago got a pit bull. She rescued a
Okay.
pit bull, and she eventually got a
Ew.
second pit bull, but it was a blue nose pit bull, right? We still have him. I don't know why I'm saying it in past tense. He's our dog. We have him. He's in the other room. But for the majority of my life, I've heard only negative things about pit bulls. How, just ridiculous stuff, like when they bite you, their jaws lock, or that they're aggressive animals that always fight and stuff like that. But then you meet a pit bull and they are the nicest, cuddliest dog you'll ever meet. You know what I mean? Like they are the complete
Yeah.
opposite of like attacking, like vicious dogs. And that whole concept really resonated with me. Like just how people perceive you and what you really are can just be so opposite from each other, and so I just really related to blue nose pit bulls, because I was like, yeah, maybe the way that people perceive me or the way that people think that I am is not what I am at all. Maybe I walk down the street and people think, man, that guy is a dick, but it's like, dude, I'm super nice. You don't even know. You have no idea.
Yeah.
You're just
No,
making assumptions. You know what I
for
mean?
sure. I agree with you. I think like, everyone's like, oh, the type is like, I don't know, Rottweilers or like Great Danes or whatever, like pit bulls as well. Like they're like, oh, they're so tough, they're scary. I actually love big dogs. I prefer them, in my
Yeah.
opinion, like to smaller ones. And like you're right. Like I love, first of all, your body is like a work of art. I love your tattoos. I don't know where you probably like. I have no idea where you went, but I'm just like, no, like objectively, I'm not like, this is not creepy. This is just like art, like for
Thank
me
you.
personally. I mean, I just think like, yeah, a lot of like I have tattoos as well. And people are like, oh, are you in the gang? I'm like, yo, it's like not 1924, Martha. Like
For
relax.
real. Shout out Martha.
Like generic, like a Karen name, but yeah, okay, I love that though. So I mean, yeah, like I feel like I'm just like hogging the questions.
No,
You
it's
know
all
what I mean?
good.
But like,
But I like.
guys.
Do you want to say the next one, or do you want me?
No, go ahead, girl.
Oh,
You can,
yeah.
girlfriend.
So
Oh, wow.
so far within your musical journey, how has it been? What advice would you give to others who are trying to make it in the industry?
I guess there's two pieces of advice I would give, even though I'm at no place to be giving advice, because I wouldn't consider myself as made it, but if there were some things I could change along the way, or that I wish someone would have told me, it would probably be find your pivot point. You're going to dive into a lot of different kinds of music, whether you're a one genre artist or not. And you need to find what's going to be the element that stays the same throughout your catalog. Are you going to be pivoted in guitars? Is guitar going to be the sound of all your songs? Are you going to be pivoted in pop music? Are you going to experiment with doing heavier music mixed with pop, or doing acoustic music mixed with pop? I think the pivot point is the most important thing, that people hear it and they're like, that's the song by so-and-so. You know what I mean? And I think that I've accomplished that, but it took me way longer than I had to. If I had just kind of figured out earlier on, like, dude, your pivot point is pop, but you also really fuck with punk. So you just kind of need to make this new thing called new pop punk, and you're going to be rocking with it. Like, if I could have just figured it all out that simple, I would be a lot further along, or where I want to be now compared to where I am. So.
Fair enough. Yeah. I mean, I love your like genres. Like I think like your music is just so like distinctly great. And like I feel like at the start of like, COVID and like quarantine, like your like song Quarantine like really got me through. Like shout out, like that. No, it's a good song. Like
It
great.
is.
Honestly, like that really was like, I listened to that like I swear, like on God, like the whole day. It was just on, like I just had my thing on shuffle, and I just like I was just listening to it, and I was like crying, and like I was like going through the day, because at the beginning of COVID I was like, I was doing my makeup every day, like full like Instagram like vibe, like whatever, and I was like listening to Blue Nose and Blake and Eddie Island and like just vibes. That was the
That's,
song for
you
me.
know, I loved the whole process of making that song, because
Dope.
I went to school with my good friend. His name is Sean Carney,
Okay.
and Sean Carney mixes and masters everything for myself and Blake Matthews. So he's a big part of why our shit sounds so fresh and so clean.
Sweet.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was randomly just like messing around and I heard this sample. I was just digging through samples and I found this sample that I have no idea what they were saying. But to me, it just sounded like gibberish, you know?
Yeah.
But to me, it sounded like they were saying quarantine. And it was so weird because I was like, wow, this is the timing of this couldn't be any better.
Yeah.
It was like week 1, you know, it was like
Yeah.
early March 2020, you know, like right before shit was just about to hit the fan.
Right.
So I was like, okay, I'm gonna make something for this. And then I kind of just made that little loop with you know, you kind of hear those voices going, quarantine, quarantine.
Yeah, I love that. That like that hits, bro.
Yeah, I know. So it's just I found it randomly. Then I layered my vocal just under it, actually saying the word quarantine because that's not what they're saying. I don't know. I don't know what they're saying. I really don't know. And I had no intention of making it into a full song. I just wanted to make like a vibey little aesthetic video for my Instagram page. So I found these like old shots from the 1950s of like these like nuclear holocaust type of video things of like, you know, just these creepy women just like, you know, doing stuff like that, you know, just weird stuff. And I made it and then I was like, wow, this video is getting like a ton of traction, like, you know, and I didn't have the verses or the chorus or anything. I just had this little thing, you know, I just had that, you know, it's not really a chorus or a verse. It's kind of like the pre-verse, you know what I'm saying, in the song, the part it's like mass hysteria is started, you should come over tonight. But it's not the chorus, but I just had that. And then I call Sean and I said, hey man, I think we need to make this into a full song. This is getting a lot of traction. Like, I think this could blow up. We need to have like the fastest turnaround on a song that we've ever had. Like, this needs to come out right when this pandemic like hits its peak.
Right.
And he was like, okay, let's do it. Like, just finish it as fast as you can. I was like, cool. And then I called Blake Matthews. I'm like, yo, you have to hop on this song with me. We have to make this as fast as possible. So he sped to my house. We made the song. And then he actually just texted a little preview of it to Pink Slip. Do you guys know who Pink Slip is?
Yeah.
Right.
So Pink Slip is like, he
Right,
goes
dude.
way he goes way back with Blake, but he's like killing the game. I mean, he's done remixes for John Bellion. He has #1 records. He's crazy. But he heard the little snippet of the song and he's like, yo, let me hop on this. And we were like, what? He was like, yeah, let me hop on this. So then I sent him the outro that I had for the song. And I was like, yo, just make some drums for this, like make it cool. And he was like, I got you. And then he made the decision to slow the song down at the end when it gets all like trappier and halftime-ier and stuff.
I like that though.
That was all Pink Slip. I made the instrumentation and he just sampled my instrumentation and threw drums on it that were just knocking.
I love how like it was just like a fast process and like, yo, hop on, let's go.
Yeah.
The vibe for sure. Going on to the next cue, just I guess it's like, what do you have any plans for the upcoming, like just any works, like anything in the works right now for like, you know, coming out soon, or what's going on in your life? We'd like to know.
There's a lot. I guess I'll give y'all the scoop that I'm not telling anyone. So
cool.
You guys will hear it first. Let's
go ahead.
do that. It feels right. Let's do it. So the next thing that's coming out is I have my good friend that's a longtime collaborator of mine. His name is Tasa. I produced his debut EP that came out last year. We're working on a collaborative EP called Bluesa.
Okay.
It's like BLUENOSE, Tasa,
Right.
Bluesa. That one's interesting. It's very hip hop and pop driven. So there's like, it doesn't get heavy and punky, and I don't scream even once, which feels weird, but it's a vibe. Like the songs are awesome.
Yeah.
Like they're really cool. They're more like, clubby or get drunk to type of songs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's being mixed and mastered as we speak. Like literally he's mixing and mastering like right now as we speak.
Oh, cool.
So no set release date yet, but very, very soon. And aside from that, for the past year and a half, almost 2 years now, I have been working on my, I guess you can call it debut album, but it's my first full length album under BLUENOSE. So essentially I wrote the 12 songs. They're pretty much completed demo wise, but now I'm taking all of the most talented creators I know. We're all going to Atlanta together, to Sean's house, the guy that mixes and masters for us. We're gonna sleep there for 3 days, and we're gonna retrack the entire album in 3 days, with state-of-the-art equipment, state-of-the-art studio, and the whole thing is gonna be filmed and made into a short film. So
Oh,
Wow. I love that.
yeah.
Oh my God. That sounds like a party. Sure.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be intense. It's gonna be 3 days is not enough to do that.
No,
we're
that's
gonna do
grinding.
it.
You're gonna grinding like
Yeah,
go off.
yeah. It's gonna be called Encore.
Okay.
Yeah. So actually, I don't know how in depth you listen to my lyrics.
I'm a lyricist as well, so I'm very like I catch some things. I mean, yeah. Go ahead. Sorry, I interrupted you.
So on Front Row, I have a lyric, which is Front Row is my sophomore EP. There's a lyric that says, "I was in the nosebleeds, now I'm in the front row. I don't want to go backstage, but now I'm ready for the encore." So that's that lyric. It's a very small lyric in this very small portion of the song is an Easter egg to my entire discography.
Okay. Love it.
So my debut EP was called Nosebleed. So I was in the nosebleed.
Yeah.
Now I'm in the front row. Front Row was the album that I was on. Sometimes you want to go backstage. Backstage was my EP that just came out in December. But I'm not ready for the encore. So,
right,
Encore
dude. Yeah.
is the debut album.
So cool.
When I heard that, honestly, like for me personally, it was just giving me like, like Eminem encore, but like
For sure. No, I feel that. It's supposed to be representing where I feel like I am as far as my career goes.
Yeah.
So when I was dropping my first EP, I felt like I was in the nosebleeds. I'm in the nosebleed seats. I'm way up there in the stadium. I can't see anything. I don't know what's going on. My sophomore album was Front Row, which was me like moving up. I'm right there. I'm front and center. I'm front row at the show. Following that, I'm backstage. Wow, I'm backstage. I really made it. And then the finale of this cinematic universe or audio universe, whatever you're going to call it, is Encore.
I love your cohesiveness with like your metaphors and like how it all like intertwines. It's like genius, sir. Come on. Yeah,
You like felt like 3 steps ahead.
yeah, I
Oh,
love that.
yeah,
It's like
yeah.
it's I don't know, I love when it's like everything is just kind of like strings together. It's like wow, just masterpiece. Like I love that. But we have the time, I think, for one more question. And yeah, Bella, do you want to take it? The last one.
Sure. If you could perform with any artist, dead or alive, who would it be? And why?
Man. Perform or work with?
Okay, I guess
I would say either or.
both. Yeah,
Both.
that's a good one. Okay, sure.
I'd say perform with Ollie Sykes for sure.
Hey, okay.
And work with, like, work in the studio and like create music together, Travis Barker,
Okay.
hands down.
Yeah, we got that one up. Like, I guess it was Laws who was like, "Yo, I only like Young Blood and Machine Gun Kelly because of Travis Barker." I'm like, okay, that's fair.
That's why I show up, you know. But I mean, Tickets to My Downfall was a masterpiece on everyone's end. You know, I mean, they all killed it. So I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. The only thing that I would have changed about Tickets to My Downfall is they should have put more features of the old school punk people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're trying to bring back punk, like, where's Good Charlotte? Where's Sum 41?
Oh,
Like, you know what I mean? He should have featured like the old school people. That would have been so much cooler.
sure. I don't know. Like for me, as a kid, I screamed Good Charlotte. Like I was like honestly Riot Girl because my name is Kristina, so I was like screaming that, like Kristina wouldn't want to meet her. Like that was my shit, dude. So like that, I agree with you. But the thing is, Machine Gun Kelly, like everyone still refers to him as like a rapper, and I'm like, he's an artist. Personally, I feel like he's an artist. But anyways, that being said, we have so much I feel like to talk about, but that is our time today. We want to thank
That's
you
fine.
so much.
Bring me on for episode 2. I'll do it anytime. Just let me know.
You know, might just take you up on it, sir. But have a great night.
All right, you too.
And thank you
Thanks
so
for having
much.
me. Absolutely.
Bye.
Later.